Welcome to the Etsy Entrepreneur Podcast, where sellers can get help starting, building, and growing their Etsy business so that they can make extra money pursuing their passion. Are you ready to get the tips and strategies you need to be successful? Then let's get started. Here is your host, a top 1% full-time Etsy seller, LL.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the Etsy Entrepreneur Podcast. Glad to be back with you guys. Super pumped to hang out with you as always. So today's episode, I wanted to kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about kind of my daily routine, kind of pull back the curtain for you guys and see what the heck most of my days look like. Maybe this is something that interests you. Maybe you can get some tips out of it as far as how I structure my days to help you. Maybe you don't care what my day looks like, and that's fine too. But either way, I wanted to kind of walk with you on a typical day of what my business looks like and the things that I do and how I kind of structure my day, because being an entrepreneur is challenging in that regard because you have total control over your time. You don't have a boss or a company structuring your day for you anymore. So you got to figure it out on your own. And it's really one of those things that I struggle with, especially early on. And even now I struggle with, because you have complete freedom over your time and you want to make sure that you're making progress forward and not wasting time. And really a lot of times what you find yourself doing is chasing, it's called shiny ball syndrome. You know, you chase a shiny object or shiny ball, a new feature or a new idea or something new, and it really takes away from your business. It really starts to chip away at your progress. So you really have to set goals and focus on the things that make the biggest impact in your business. Finding new products and new places to sell your products and stuff like that is good. However, you have to set time constraints on those things, because it will really take away from your Etsy business as far as driving that forward. And I see this happen a lot of times with, looking at statistics and stuff like that, analytics with Etsy or third-party programs, where you're spending, a lot of people find these new tools and then they get so focused on looking at their stats and checking their stats every hour, every day. And just they're focusing so much on their stats, but they've done nothing with their business. They haven't added any new products. They haven't changed any new products. They haven't tried any new SEO techniques. They haven't found any new keywords to implement, stuff like that. And it really takes away from their business when they feel like they are doing things as far as looking at stats and learning stats and stuff like that. But what it's really doing is distracting you from the most important areas to grow your business. So I would recommend finding one or two things that you hypothesize could grow your business in the next weeks, months, years, and focus on those things. Doesn't mean that you can't do anything else, but every week, set a big chunk of your time to focus on those things that could grow your business and take it to the next level. Looking at stats isn't going to do that. Adding new products could do that. Finding new audiences could do that. Finding a way to streamline your processes could do that. So I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there, but hopefully that kind of gives you some ideas as far as things that I've ran into, problems that I've ran into. But so my typical day is probably a lot like you guys. I wake up, not open up, but I guess when I wake up is when my time is open to start. I like to joke around that my race begins as soon as I get up, because I'm the type of person where I don't like things hanging over my head. So, and I have freedom to do, to dedicate to my business whenever, but I like to get all of my stuff done as soon as possible. So then the rest of the day I can kind of relax or just take things as they come. So when I wake up, have breakfast, grab my cup of coffee. And then what I usually do is my online portion of my business, as far as getting my orders lined up for what I need to complete as far as Etsy orders. Then I look at any, responding to any customers. Usually I also will do online stuff as far as for my Etsy entrepreneur business, jumping into the membership forum and answering any questions that people had, especially that came in overnight that I didn't get to, because I usually try to get in there a couple of times a day and answer questions. I don't want people that have questions waiting a long period of time to get their questions answered and get that support. That's the whole point of the membership forum. So I usually answer those in the morning, or at least get that round done, and get my order list of what I need to complete as far as my orders ready to go. So I'll spend maybe an hour or two online in the morning getting that stuff taken care of, answering any emails. And then once I have that ready to go, I will go, into my shop and start completing my orders. I do all my own printing for my graphic tees, for my main selling shop. I do all that work myself still. Probably should hire somebody. That's kind of the next step is, once your business grows, you need to consider hiring people to do things that are taking time away from your business. But I really enjoy doing it. I do all my own designing as well, which is the number one thing that I enjoy about, running my own store and stuff like that. The design elements are super cool. Photoshop's super fun. I love doing that, the design stuff. So once I have that list, I go into my shop, I get my orders done for the day. Usually while I'm in my shop, we'll listen to music, or I'll listen to podcasts, different business podcasts, or ebooks. It's a great way, while you're working, if you do all your own products, manufacturing and stuff like that, and a lot of things doesn't take a lot of brain power, it's a great time to kind of double up on you're making progress, you're completing your orders and stuff like that, but you're also learning and having that stuff in the back of your mind where you're listening and learning at the same time. I love doing that. I honestly don't read books anymore. I download the ebooks and I listen to the ebooks when I'm manufacturing or when I'm working out, stuff like that. It's a great way to kind of utilize that time more effectively and more efficiently. When you're driving is also a great way to listen to stuff as well. Maybe some of you guys are listening to this podcast while you're driving, so thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully it's a positive influence and I don't make you swerve off the road and into the gravel or something like that. But so that's usually kind of my routine as far as that goes. Once I'm done with that, I pack up my stuff, print out my labels, get that stuff ready to go to the post office. Sometimes I'll leave the packages for the post office to pick up, or I will take them to the post office myself. If I have a huge order, get that stuff ready to go pretty early in the day so I can get it shipped out. I try to get to the post office before it closes at 5. And luckily my post office is pretty close, so that's pretty awesome. Some people aren't as lucky, but remember, that's a tip too. You can schedule pickups, and you don't even have to schedule a pickup. I never schedule a post office pickup. So if your mailman comes at 11, sit your packages out by your mailbox before then, and they'll take them. If you have a prepaid label, you print out your Etsy shipping labels, they'll take them, so it saves you a trip to go to the post office. A lot of people don't realize that they can do that. If you want to schedule it on USPS.com, you can do that. But I think that's just basically a notification to your normal mailman to pick up the packages. So 9 times out of 10, I have never had an issue with them picking them up. Every once in a while, I'll get someone, I guess, filling in on my route, and they won't take the packages. So I don't know why that happens, but most of the time, 99% of the time, I've never had an issue, and it saves you a trip if you get them out early enough. So it's just a kind of tip for you. And then usually after that, about the middle of the day, what I like to do is that's when I do my workouts. I usually do a weightlifting workout. I usually do some cardio, running, riding an exercise bike, stuff like that. I don't like to exercise early in the morning. I don't know why. It's hard for me when I'm still a little groggy to jump into a high velocity exercise routine. It's just hard for me to get motivated. So I warm myself up, and then the middle of the day is when I like to jump in and kind of clear my mind, get my exercise out of the way, and then I don't have to worry about the rest of the day. Because I don't like waiting to the end of the day either, because at the end of the day, you're winding down, you're a little bit tired, your motivation is kind of tanking a little bit. So for me, the optimal time is the middle of the day, and that's one of the really nice things about working for myself is I can control when I do that, because I used to have to either get up early in the morning, or I would, get home at 7 o'clock at night and have to work out. And it's really tough when you're hungry to work out. And then I'd be eating dinner at 9 p.m. So that was really tough. And then getting up at 5 a.m. to work out is really no better. That's another struggle in itself. So I never liked that, the lack of control there. So I'm very fortunate that I can do that in the middle of the day. And after that, usually what I do the rest of the day, honestly, is jump in and do more online stuff. So whether I'm doing design work for my Etsy shop, working on new designs, new ideas there, responding to emails, customer emails, stuff like that as well. I also respond to customers throughout the day. I've talked about this before. The Etsy on sale app, you got to make, or Etsy seller app, whatever it's called. There's an app so you can have it on your Android or your iOS, your iPhone, and you can set up push notifications for customers that email you or message you. Definitely do that, because then you can respond to them super quick. And 99% of the time, if you respond to someone right away, they will buy from you. If you answer their question and it's a question about something they're interested in, they will always buy from you, usually, if you answer them right away, and they don't have to wait. Because if they have to wait, they're going to move on, find the answer somewhere else and buy from that person. Most people I respond within minutes. I stop what I'm doing real quick, just send them a quick message back, and usually it blows their mind because they're like, holy crap, this is so fast. Most people aren't used to fast responses. Customer service is not what it used to be. So I love blowing people's minds with super fast responses. Sometimes I play a game, I'd like to see how fast I can literally respond back. But it'll help you guys get more sales. And you can do push notifications for sales. You can do push notifications for reviews. Lots of benefits to having those push notifications, letting you know about that stuff right away. So I'll do online for the last couple hours of the afternoon, answering emails, responding to customers, putting up new products, creating new designs. If I have to order inventory, I do that as well. Then I'm working in the Etsy Entrepreneur Community Help Forum. And then also I will fit in, recording these podcasts. It's the afternoon right now. I'm recording this podcast for you guys. And then I'll work on content creation for my podcast, for, my YouTube channel. And then most importantly for the, for my masterclass that I have. I'm always creating new videos and new content for that, up-to-date stuff, up-to-date strategies that I'm trying out. I'm always trying and testing strategies, and then I create walkthrough videos that I put in my masterclass for you guys, so that you can learn from that, digest that, see what I've done and am doing. I always test stuff out and make sure that it works before I put that in there, so that you guys can learn and grow. And I try to add new videos and new content every month for you guys with more strategies. There's so much stuff that you can do. You can't do everything at once, but you got to pick a couple of things, focus on them every week or every month. If you are consistent in focusing on new strategies and growing your shop will get more traffic and more sales, but it takes time to have that snowball effect take place. A lot of people, unfortunately, give up before they get to that point because they think that they're going to get sales right away. And it just doesn't work like that. You need to grow your shop. You need to feed your shop, help it grow, can be consistent, and then you'll get there. So that's what my afternoons usually look like as far as finishing out with online stuff. And then usually the rest of the day is kind of my time. It's some days I work till 5, some days I work till 2, some days I work till 3. Some days I'll have to go back in and, work in the, 7, 8 o'clock, answering more questions and stuff like that, supporting my members. But typically, especially I would say Monday through Friday, that's kind of what my days look like. Usually every once in a while, there's days where I don't have to make products and manufacture, but usually I do it every day so I can get that stuff out right away. Shipping times are super important. The faster people get their stuff, the more apt they are to leave a positive review. People love getting stuff fast. And if they're, a lot of people aren't used to getting stuff super fast, but if you're sending stuff out before your processing times say, that's always a good thing. But especially just make sure that your people are getting the stuff within the processing times that you set, because that will always help you get positive reviews. The easiest way to get negative reviews is for people to get their stuff late. A lot of times people are ordering stuff as gifts, or ordering stuff for things that they need, events, stuff like that. So if it's going to be late, you got to make sure to let them know and reach out. Most people are super understanding if you communicate with them. I've barely had any issues with if I, sometimes I get inventory in late and it's just the way that it is. So I have to message them and just let them know. Most people are totally cool with it. Or if you have to switch up a color or a model or something like that you have in stock, you can totally do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as how my day is structured, to kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight. So just make sure you guys, I know a lot of you guys work, and I did the same thing. I worked full time for a long time, for probably 5-6 years. I've been doing e-commerce for 20 years and I've worked full time ever since then, but I just retired from my corporate job 2 years. And while building my Etsy business, I worked full time and I had to come home and do all my Etsy stuff. And a lot of you guys are like that, and that's fine. You can totally build a business on the side. You just have to structure your day accordingly. I worked for an hour, my lunch break, I ate my lunch and worked. My lunch break, I made sure that I used my time effectively. Then I came home and did a little bit more work, and then I was able to slowly build my business. But yeah, just make sure you're structuring your business on not only manufacturing and creating your stuff, but things that are going to drive your business forward for the future. Implementing strategies, implementing new products, testing new products, marketing strategies, growing your Etsy business, maybe looking at different sales channels, stuff like that to grow your business. That's where a lot of people make the mistake. They get stuck in this rut of just, producing products. And that's pretty much, it's kind of like a one and done type thing. And they don't think of things that are going to move the business forward. And I see a lot of successful shops do this, where they find success early, and then they just ride it. They just keep riding the success and they don't reinvest in their business with knowledge, strategies, different products, manufacturing efficiencies, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden their business starts tanking, and then they freak out and they can't stop it because this whole time they were just riding the wave and they didn't reinvest in their business. You can't just continue to take, you gotta start to give back, in your business and reinvest, in knowledge, and reinvest in some of your profits and growing your business and stuff like that. And I think that's the biggest mistake that people make. A lot of people don't have business backgrounds and marketing backgrounds. So it's no fault of their own, but that's why I want to give you guys a heads up and the direction so that you can hopefully not fall into that pitfall. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to kind of give you that background, hopefully throw in some tips in there for you and, help you organize your day better and move forward as much as possible. So it was nice hanging out with you guys. As always, until next time, I will talk to you guys later. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts and you like it, please leave a review. I appreciate it. It helps me reach more people. Helps people think that my podcast is okay and helpful. So hopefully it's a good review, but if not, hey, it is what it is. And I appreciate your reviews nonetheless. You need more help growing and building your Etsy shop. I would love to work with you in the masterclass, in the help forum. You can view that on EtsyEntrepreneur.com. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Have an awesome rest of your day.